This is Dr. Baxley, and this is a quick video for students who are still working on converting squared and cubic units. For this lesson, I've drawn a box here that is 12 inches on one side and 12 inches on the other side. In order to calculate its area, one can simply multiply the 12 inches of one side by the 12 inches of the other to get 144 square inches. Now, of course, 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, so the other side and top of the box are labeled as 1 foot measurements. To calculate its area in feet, one would multiply 1 foot by 1 foot to get 1 foot squared. To show the calculation for square inches to square feet, I've shown this by looking at each side in terms of inches times inches. But we would need to convert inches to feet twice by using this ratio, 1 foot per 12 inches and 1 foot per 12 inches. This calculation gives 1 foot squared, just like the previous calculation. Another way to write this would be 1 foot over 12 inches, quantity squared, and then multiply it by the dimensions of 12 inches by 12 inches. That also gives 1 foot. There's another way to write this conversion factor, and that is to show that 1 foot squared over 12 inches, quantity squared, is a valid ratio for converting inches squared to square feet. This particular box is now 6 inches by 6 inches, or half foot by half foot. To calculate its area in square inches, multiply 6 inches by 6 inches to get 36 inches squared. In terms of feet, though, it's 1/2 foot by 1/2 foot is equal to 0.25 feet squared. To calculate feet squared from inches squared, we could start with the 36 inches squared, multiply it by the ratio that we worked on before, 1 foot squared for every 12 inches, quantity squared, and that also gives a calculation of 0.25 feet squared. It's clearly not starting with 36 inches squared and multiplying it by 1 foot squared over 12 inches squared without the quantity squared part. This is a really critical issue, is squaring the conversion factor in terms of the number inside the parentheses. Here are 2 more examples. The first example is calculating from square inches, square centimeters, knowing that there are 2.5 centimeters for every 1 inch. Starting with the measured value of 100 inches squared, you can then multiply this by the 2.54 centimeters, quantity squared, by 1 inch squared, and that will give 645.2 square centimeters. Another example would be to convert 100 cubic inches to cubic centimeters. Again, you'd start with the measured value of 100.0 inches cubed, and then multiply by 2.54 centimeters cubed, with everything in the parentheses being cubed, for 1 inch cubed. And this would give an answer of 1,639 centimeters cubed. Again, it's quite important to make sure that you cube the entire conversion factor. I hope this clears up any issues that you've got with squaring and cubing units. Just make sure you always cube the conversion factor.